G'day humans, what's good word? Chris Fundy here once again for Wrestling Old Style. And now we're doing the show live via Discord. Come join our Discord and say hi, but I'm joined by a very special friend of the show. Rudy is Alex, welcome back, mate.
I am the newest fan of All Elite Wrestling. WWE can go fuck itself.
We haven't even been on air 2 minutes yet, and you're already upset about stuff.
I'm a bitter person.
Really? You are the glass half full person of this duo. But I suppose we can get there in a while. The last time we talked was just after Grand Slam Australia. We've both been quite sick and under the weather and had stuff going on. How are you? And we can talk the big news coming out of Elimination Chamber when we get to Mania itself. But how are you?
I've been good. Other than about a 6-week stretch of like every illness known to man, because baby decided to start going to daycare and bringing home every germ possible.
Oh. Well, at least your immunity system will be back up and boosted, I guess, coming out of this.
Yeah, dude, it's been crazy. Like, I'm currently on antibiotics because of a bloody bacterial infection that I've somehow ended up with. I'm all good now, but yeah, I still staying the course with that. And yeah, the antibiotics just suck. So it makes my gut ouchy. So I couldn't go crazy with the food on WrestleMania weekend or Easter weekend. So I feel like I've been robbed of a good time.
Yeah, well, we can get to that good time. Firstly, did you do the watch party? Did you host it this year?
Unfortunately, not this year because of the whole Easter weekend thing. Had to travel 4 hours to the missus's grandparents' house, and had to do the family Easter and sort of sneak out in the mornings to watch WrestleMania by myself because no one else gives a fuck. So
don't you worry, we'll get little Fruity Jr. onto it soon. But
I don't know what it was, but I put WrestleMania 9 on in front of him the other day, and he was smile ear to ear, loving watching Crush and Doink, bruh.
Not making kids cry, bruh?
They were not making this kid cry, bruh. And then the second Doink came out. Like, my kid's at the age where he's still, like, figuring out how to laugh. So when he, like, gets the giggles up, it's pretty momentous. He's giggling at 2 Doinks on the TV. So, like, it was pretty huge.
Okay, I did touch on this last week during the Mania preview itself, but did you happen to catch SmackDown Go Home WrestleMania Edition or the Hall of Fame?
I caught most of it. I also did listen to a fair chunk of your podcast, and what? You just stir me about Cody? You don't seriously hate him? What? Color me shocked.
Hey, the dude can wrestle.
That's a debate I'm willing to have now after that match on the other day. But I did catch most of SmackDown.
The DIY Most Seated Machine Guns, was it? Most Seated Machine Guns and Street Profits match ends in DQ because of DIY. So Aldous backstage goes, "Give me back the belts." TLC match, you free. Crowd cheers. Next week, boo.
Outrageous.
I think the crowd was like, oh, okay, tonight or tomorrow night at Mania, adding on short notice.
Considering the tag title match we did get at Mania and that we didn't get this one, outrageous choice.
Zelina also beats Chelsea Green clean in a non-title match in like 4 minutes.
Chelsea should have had a match at Mania.
Yeah, we'll get there as well. Nothing really much else I can think of from SmackDown. Hall of Fame class. Ivan Koloff. Any real thoughts to add there? Because a lot of these legacy inductees I wasn't too familiar with, unfortunately.
A big deal. Should have been inducted before he died. Probably should have been one of the very first classes, like in the 90s. Anyone that ends Bruno Sammartino's 8-year title run, that's huge. That should be instant access into any Hall of Fame ever.
And that's the night Bruno thought he went deaf in the garden, isn't it?
It sure is. You could hear a pin drop.
What's the story behind that? Because I was trying to sort of half remember it last week on the podcast.
Like Ivan Koloff beats Bruno, and the entire crowd just goes dead silent. Just dead silent. To the point where Bruno thought he'd lost his hearing. Because it went from like pandemonium to nothing, just like that. Just at the count of 3 or whatever it was.
Were you aware this footage actually existed of this like monumental title change in WWE history?
I'm not sure. Do they actually have the footage?
They aired it during Koloff's induction here. And that's the first time I can recall ever seeing the footage.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I did miss Koloff's induction, so that makes sense. I'm glad they showed it. I'm going to have to go back and just to see the footage, because, I've never seen it before.
Dory Funk Sr., any real thoughts to add there?
I mean, name alone should be in instant access into any Hall of Fame. Anyone that gives us Terry Funk is a big fucking deal, man. I'm not that familiar with his career. I just know that, no surprise, just absolutely dominated the Texas territories back in the day. And, was a booker as well and a promoter as well.
Yeah, ran the Amarillo, Texas territory.
Yes, which, so he got to book his sons as well, and trained them, and Dory and Terry are 2 of the best of all time.
Only brother duo to ever hold the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship.
Until Billy Corgan has some sense and puts it on Dustin. Anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
It would be the best thing he could do. Anyway.
Kamala. Now, you like your wrestling figures. Do you happen to have one of those famous Kamalas on card?
I do not have the famous $20,000 Kamala the Moonbelly Kamala.
Yeah, it's just sitting away for Little Fruity's university fund.
Little Fruity, his university fund is still on hold. But Matt Cardona has had a few copies of this Moonbelly Kamala.
How the hell does he have a few?
He's gone through different ones where he's been trying to get the perfect one.
Oh, so it's upgrading.
Yeah, he's been upgrading.
Bloody Cardona.
There was even an episode of Ms. and Mrs. where Matt Cardona got the Miz to go pick up a Moonbelly Kamala for him.
Is that the one where Miz is at that guy's toy truck and says that he'll give him $100 for the Miz figure and $20 for the Maurice?
Yep, same episode. Yeah. Yeah, James Harris was formerly Sugar Bear James Harris in the before he went to Memphis Wrestling, and they came up with the Kamala gimmick. Fucked if I know why I know so much about Kamala, but I just genuinely loved the gimmick the first time I saw it. The belly slap, and the first time I ever saw it was in his early 90s babyface run, where his whole gimmick was that he didn't know how to pin someone properly. It's like, dude, we've seen you in this promotion for years. How come you forgot how to pin now? But anyway, we'll ignore that. And he'd try to pin people on their stomachs and pulling their leg backwards instead of forwards. It was great. It was good humor.
Cameron does a split-legged pin and the ref's telling her, no, You're pinning her belly down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Kamala used to do that as part of his gimmick, not as a shoot.
The Immortal Moment, the first one of these ever, Bret the Hitman Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 13.
Did you say that WWE throughout the build up to WrestleMania were like naming like the 50 greatest WrestleMania matches of all time? Why is it the first match you put into the WWE Hall of Fame is number 2 on the list?
Is it Taker Shawn WrestleMania 25th anniversary?
Yeah, 25th anniversary. I don't want to go on a John Pollock-like rant here, but 25th annual, dickheads.
What about X7? Wouldn't that imply that that's the 70th? Because it's 10 to the power of 7?
Oh my god, you're probably right, yeah. Fucking hell, you're actually right.
Terminator 2 looking trophy? What the fuck was this?
It's cool that Bret Hart is a 3-time Hall of Famer, I guess, because he fucking should be.
He's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
I understand that the Hart Foundation has gone in as a tag team, but the Hart Foundation should also go in as a stable.
Yeah, let's get on to that.
Yeah, right?
Stone Cold and Punk both shout out Ken Shamrock, saying he's integral to this match as well.
Yeah, and like Stone Cold saying that Shamrock made both him and Bret look like shit.
And then they just like beer bash at the end, and Punk just slinks away because, of course, Punk's straight edge. He doesn't drink beer.
It was very good. I know a lot of people were like, oh, should Punk be the guy inducting this? As far as Punk and people that he hasn't wrestled but he's linked to a lot, it is Bret and Stone Cold.
Look at all his like tribute gear from his 2 years in AEW. A lot of it is Bret.
Yeah, before he left WWE, it was like everything. Like that WWE All-Stars game, the game came out all those years ago. Like one of the big selling points in the ads was you could do CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, not only that, the WWE 13 video game with that great sit-down Austin, JR, Punk.
They have legit sold wrestling figure 2-packs of CM Punk and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That is such an odd thing, unless they're doing like something of like different eras.
It was a promotion for All Stars because they also sold a Jake Roberts Randy Orton 2-pack.
Yeah, that one makes a bit more snake sense. Quickly here, Michelle McCool. Given we already know the results, but I was thinking, she calls out Layla, says they could be flawless, go for another run. Do you think they come back for a women's tag team run, given there was no women's tag belts in their era?
I think that time has passed, but I would have loved it. Same with the Bellas. Yeah, it's crazy that probably the 2 best women's tag teams of all time were around when they didn't have women's tag team belts.
I can't think of their tag name off the top of my head. AJ and Caitlin.
Yeah, that's another good one. Like there was a time where they called the Bella twins, AJ and Caitlin, are all floating around at the same time, as well as Beth Phoenix and Natalya. They could have legitimately done a more stacked women's tag team division in like 2011 than they have right now.
The natural disasters, Earthquake here represented by his family, and Typhoon. Yes, we know Typhoon's other gimmicks, that's for another day, but thoughts here on these two getting the nod? I'm
so happy Earthquake got the nod. This is where I've really noticed like some of the weird cutaways in this. Typhoon's talking about how like some tag teams don't have chemistry, and then they cut to Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in the crowd, and then they cut back to Typhoon.
I mean, do you blame them? They've been teasing this breakup for the better part of 18 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And then like, who was it? Michelle McCool talking about like how, you know, it's the Undertaker talking about how Michelle McCool like made a name for herself and she had to work for it. It wasn't because of the last name she was born with, and then they cut to Natalia in the crowd.
Whoops.
And it's like, motherfucker, what are you guys doing? Like, the camera cuts were brutal with the Hall of Fame.
Booker T sleeping that got memed around to him having a dream bubble of Stephanie Vaca. Ha, ha, ha. The man who I think should have headlined, he is the total package. Lex Luger. Get up and applaud your Hall of Fame headliner for the class of WCW.
Yeah, as soon as that was announced, I was like, holy fuck, this is amazing. This is so well overdue. Would have been nice if Sting inducted in.
Yeah, it would have.
WWE didn't want Lex Luger to be featured or shown at Sting's retirement match, so I can understand Tony for being petty in return.
I would have just gone, he probably said, look, it's just for one night for Sting retiring. Can we do this? And they would have gone, no. And then they would have gone, look, it's for Luger going in the Hall of Fame. Can we do this? And he would have gone, no.
I can't blame Tony for that. Sting is still an investment to Tony, and even though Sting's not on TV or anything like that. And have you seen photos of him lately with his silver hair and like silver goatee that he's rocking? Like, he is very, very much so like in his old man Logan phase of life. Like, he is, yeah, it's a great look. But yeah, it's just a shame Lex Luger gets inducted into the Hall of Fame without Sting being the man doing it. Although DDP doing it was fantastic, and it did give us that moment of like Lex Luger actually standing for his entire speech, which was awesome.
He does come out with the wheelchair and does mention, I had an accident at the airport getting into the Uber, but by God, I'm going to stand for this speech. Like, is that the third big wrestler DDP's helped? Scott Hall, Jake the Snake, Luger.
Oh, there's more, I think. Like, there's more to like a smaller scale. I've seen like Chris Jericho has been doing DDP yoga for ages. Like, he used to credit like DDP yoga for like him still being able to go in the ring at his age, even though that's arguable. And like Devon Dudley recently talked about how he lost 80-something pounds from DDP yoga. So like there's people to a smaller degree, smaller scale. Yeah, like obviously the Luger stuff, the Razor, the Scott Hall stuff, the Jake Roberts stuff, that was like very extreme cases. Buck Bagwell as well. Butterbean, who had a fucking match. I haven't seen the match yet. Yeah, I haven't seen the match, but I can't believe that even happened.
What event is it? Something on the Collective, probably Spring Break, knowing Joe Janela. Your Hall of Fame headliner this year for the class of 2025. Stand and applaud. Hillbilly Jim. Hang on, no, that's the wrong year. Triple H Paul Levesque.
Yes.
Bit long.
Bit long.
An hour.
The missus walks in at one point, right? And she goes, hey, doesn't Triple H run that whole thing? I was like, yeah. She's like, and he's the headliner in his own Hall of Fame. I was like, well, yeah. She's like, and the whole show's been based around like people talking about how good he was. I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah. Yeah, that sounds a bit fishy. And I was like, well, yeah. But he does deserve to be in. But yeah, I see your point. And it just felt like we were watching like a weird episode of The Office where Michael Scott's decided it's Boss Appreciation Day, and everyone just has to come in and pretend how much they love their boss.
It was a little bit like that.
And CM Punk is totally the Jim Halpert of The Office. Anyway, go on.
Well, what does that put your boy Drew McIntyre as then?
Oh, he's Roy. He's the dude who dates the chick that Jim Halpert ends up getting with, and he ends up punching Jim Halpert in the face. Any
word on what the go is with Batista, when he'll ever be inducted?
I don't know, man. I did say the only reference I've seen to Batista all weekend is John Cena on the Pat McAfee show saying, "What happened? Like, why does Randy Orton have Batista's body and Batista has Randy Orton's body now?"
Is there bad blood there? Because he was going in and then everything got put into lockdown and he hasn't been back since.
Well, let's just say, without making it too political, WWE have been wheeling out the right wing, the right wing sort of voices lately, from your Tony Hinchcliffes to Dana White to who's that other dude? Anyway, they've been wheeling out a lot of people that are very right wing focused, and no one is as left as Batista in the wrestling business. So I could see Batista just being like, "This is not the company I want to be associated with right now."
And also, at one of the post-Mania press conferences, Triple H got asked about if Chyna will ever go in the Hall of Fame as a solo inductee, and he said yes, to where they've actually listed her as a possible future inductee now.
Yeah, well, I would love to see a day where the WWE decides, you know what, this year we can put more than one woman in the Hall of Fame, or this year we can put more than one tag team in the Hall of Fame. And this wasn't the case this year, but this year we'll put more than one black person in the Hall of Fame. Besides Kamala and the Legacy wing, there was no real diversity in that class. Like that class was like, what's Triple H? Boston boy, and then the rest is like Southern.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like the most diverse person you've got there is John Tenta because he married a Japanese woman.
Should we get over to NXT Stand and Deliver?
Heading into this, I was so not looking forward to Stand and Deliver, to be honest. It's like the only thing that interests me about NXT is their women's division, and I feel like they're somehow fumbling it. Because it's like they got such a stacked roster that they literally have no idea what to do with them. So they just throw them all in matches at once.
Yeah, a little bit. Did you catch this pre-show match? Fatal 4-way number one contender to the women's tag titles. So it was Gigi, Dolin, Tatum, Paxley with Shotzi in their corner, defeating Cora, Jade and Roxanne Perez. Also defeating Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley and JC Jane, who had Jasmine Nix in their corner. Also defeating Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. I mean, cool. Gigi Dolin getting to do something.
Yeah.
But this sort of underlines the problem going into Mania. We can have more of a discussion on the state of the women's tag team division when we get there. But the women's tag team division in NXT is pretty good and could probably carry the NXT women's tag team belts on their own down there. The main roster division is just shit. First match on the card, second match of the night. Ricky Saints here, defending North American champion against Ethan Page. How did you feel about this match?
This definitely felt like a big fuck you to Tony Khan, right?
That's kind of what I was getting from this. I'm like, this could have easily been a great TNT championship program in AEW. And I can see why the crowd chants Tony fumbled.
And, it's not like when Tony had these guys, they didn't show the promise they have now. People have known for a long time how good both of these guys could be. I am, to an extent, not as much as I used to be, but I am an AEW defender by nature. I can't defend the Tony fumbled allegations here because they're kind of true.
Hell of a match here, going 12:43 with Saints getting the pinfall victory over Page, retaining his championship. It's kind of true that happened. Third match was Fraxiom, your defending NXT Tag Team Champions, against Hank and Tank Hank Walker from National Tiles and Tank Ledger.
Hello!
Hank Walker from NXT Tiles.
So did I tell you the story about in January I went back to the old hometown, caught up with the friend of the show, Warwick, for his big XL birthday. One of his other friends bought him a packet of WWE Topps Chrome cards for his birthday. So we're like doing a big pack opening in front of everyone at the pub. It's like, getting all these cool base cards with all these awesome legends. And it's like, there's meant to be a guaranteed like autograph in this whole box. So hopefully he gets one that's like cool as fuck. He gets one. He's like, who the fuck is Hank Walker? And it's a card of like Hank Walker. He's signed it, and it's like from when he was like security guard. Like Hank Walker's got like his button-up shirt on.
Oh no!
It's just like, and then I was like, oh yeah, that dude. And he's like, oh, he's so shit. And I was like, yeah, but I think he's in a tag team and they're all right. And he's like, okay, let's look up the tag team. And we looked up the tag team and he's like, oh, he's not even the coolest one in his tag team. The other dude looks so much cooler.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Have you seen how Kevin Owens signs his cards? How he's got he puts the weird little messages on some of them?
Yeah, it's so good.
Just makes it a one of one.
Kind of unrelated, but have you ever seen Shawn Michaels' autograph? His signature?
Is it bad? Hang on, we can look this up.
Go to Shawn Michaels' autograph and like the first images in Google.
God damn it, Alex. God damn it, Alex.
It's a penis, isn't it?
Why would you do this?
Shawn Michaels' autograph is a penis.
So, back to this tag team match of Shawn Michaels led NXT. Right call here, taking the belts off Fraxiom. Please come up to Raw and save their dreadful tag division.
Oh, man.
The only other team who's half decent on Raw is Judgment Day. Do you want them to have the titles again?
Fuck no. I don't want Judgment Day to be a thing anymore. Outside of I'm happy to see Carlito and Dominic hang out. I'm happy with Carlito just being the idiot that he is. Yeah. I mean, Fraxiom getting called up. Hopefully going to the good tag division, not the shit one, because there's that tag division that has like DIY and the Machine Guns and the Street Profits, and then there's the other one that has Alpha Academy.
Hey, they got TV time this week.
Yeah.
Fourth match of Stand and Deliver. Your vacated North American Women's Championship in a ladder match featuring Zaria, Thea, Lola, Kelani Jordan, Izzi Dame, and Sol Ruca. Other than the closing moments here, anything you want to highlight?
I mean, Sol Ruca is like quickly becoming one of my favorites. Just a look, the way she moves, yeah, she's fantastic. Obviously, Zaria is our gal. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good match. Pretty good.
I really enjoyed this. The closing portion here of Zaria and Sol fighting on the ladder that leads to Zaria going down. So Sol powers herself up and over the top of this ladder to better position herself to reach for the belt. Then does a Soul Snatcher up on the turnbuckle, double Soul Snatcher, climbs the ladder and wins. Insane closing sequence. But I was surprised by this. I thought we might have gone Zaria, given earlier in the week Sol Ruca had won the Speed Championship off Candice LeRae. So I was thinking, okay, maybe Sol's going to be quietly moving up to main roster to do speed stuff, and Zaria will stay down in NXT.
Maybe they're quietly demoting the Speed title.
That too. Fifth match of the card. Downstate versus the D'Angelo family. Did you watch this?
I did.
Okay, you can give your feedback because I'm not watching. Was it Downstate, Dark State, Dumb State?
Yeah, Dumb State. A bunch of green rookies that are pretending to be tough. It's a tough watch. This match was a reminder of what we are really watching, and that is a developmental promotion.
Yeah, I saw the closing angle, the turn of Stacks on Tony, and that plays into this week's TV.
Yeah, didn't they imply that they killed someone again?
Possibly.
I saw a clip from today's TV on Twitter, and it was Stacks and the other dude in the desert.
Backstage, I'll touch on this before the co-main event. Heritage Cup winners Lexis King's backstage, runs into Penn the Magician. He insults Magic, so Penn says, let's put your Heritage Cup here on this stool in this cage and we'll keep it safe. And you see, I'm closing the curtain and no one can see it. You don't want to have the light ruin its patina. And then he pulls back up the blind and there's Teller in a yeet shirt yeeting.
But I was hoping that this was how they just got rid of the Heritage Cup. I genuinely thought that this was just how they got rid of it. And I just thought it would have been the fucking best thing ever. I genuinely thought that this was just how they got rid of the Heritage Cup. And I thought that would have been the funniest fucking thing ever. And I would have been all for it. Like, fuck yeah. What's the best way to get rid of your hardcore grappling, wrestling is wrestling, championship? The best way to get rid of it? Magician made it disappear.
How about, I've already seen TV this week, but say Lexis King has a match for the Heritage Cup and he's going, well, I don't have the cup, and drags Teller out to stand ringside as the Heritage Cup. So they're fighting for custody of Teller because the cup's disappeared and Teller's in its place.
It's the new NXT Television Championship.
It writes itself.
It does. It does.
I need to remember that one.
We'll chuck him on the carousel. We'll chuck him on the carousel and call it a spinner. Outrageous.
Co-main here of Stephanie Vaquer defending NXT Women's Champ against Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. Goes 16-29. Any real thoughts here?
I'm starting to come around on Jada Parker, but still feel like she's booked at a lot higher of a level than she should be at right now. She's great, don't get me wrong, but there's just something missing.
She's got the crowd behind her, and that's half the battle sometimes.
That is half the battle. It's just, I'm not sure if she got called up right now, I'm not sure if she would translate. I think she translates to a smaller, regular NXT audience that have seen her since day dot. But I'm not sure if there's enough meat on the bone yet, and that's just going to take a bit of time. They need to flesh out who she is a bit better, I think. The other thing about this super stacked NXT women's roster is, it's fucking fantastic. Like, the amount of talent they have in this roster, there's so much. The problem is, it's been so much coming in such a short time. Like, yeah, that they are getting their spotlight, but the existence of Jordan Grace, Julia, and Stephanie Vaquer have sort of cancelled each other out to a point where it's these guys should all be unstoppable, getting shitloads of TV time, but there's only so much TV time to go around.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I'm struggling to explain it, but there's only so much TV time to go around, and they all should be getting a shitload right now. Especially one of the biggest victims of all this coming in at the same time is probably Zaria.
I think Zaria's sort of benefited a bit from that she's sort of positioned in this North American division, because she is getting more time to shine.
And it might be better for her in the long run that she's not just immediately shoved into the main event scene.
Well, you think about if she came in and it was Julia, Vaquer, Zaria and Roxanne Perez as the champ at the time, and then they signed Jordynne Grace as well. That's 5 main eventers you have straight away.
And also you've got Cora Jade there, not getting used as much, but definitely has a big following.
She's over in TNA more and more.
Yeah, but if she was booked on NXT, she would probably be right in the hunt as well. It's okay, you got a stacked division, but is your division perhaps too stacked? Are you in a situation where you've got that much star power that you can't actually focus on anyone because there's so much of everyone?
Yeah. Well, then the problem becomes, does Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez get called up to the main roster?
They have to. They have to, for the sake of the women that are going to have to stay in NXT.
Judging by Monday, it might not be Cora Jade, it might be someone else.
Yes. And that's cool. If it's the 3 people we saw on Monday, cool. Get rid of some of this star-studded talent that you have in NXT at the moment. Move them up. Because, Stephanie Vacant and Julia and Jordynne Grace, to be honest, and definitely Roxanne and Cora, they don't need to be in NXT anymore.
The whole reason was Julia and Vacant more so said NXT because they want to, I guess, with my poor phrasing, get a better grasp on English because they are both non-native English speakers as a first language.
Which is fair. I would definitely say that's fair for Stephanie. And I think Stephanie's holding her own with it. She's doing a lot better. Julia never had a fucking issue. She might not be confident, but she is fantastic English speaker for someone who isn't a native English speaker.
Stephanie here pinning Jada Parker to retain her championship. Main event, Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans in a triple threat for the NXT championship going 16:58. I really enjoyed this match other than one spot.
Alright, let's hear what the spot is.
The refs on one side of the ring going to move into position to make a pinfall count, and Obafemi grabs the ref's leg, and the ref just kicks at Obafemi and then crawls over to still make the count.
Oh, yeah.
And then that doesn't even play into the finish. It's still a fair count ending at the finish. It's why is this ref standing up to Obafemi? Other than that fucking fantastic match, does anyone stop Obafemi?
I mean, are we going to find out eventually that these green wannabe Shield people are downstate or whatever? Are we going to find out that Trick is the one behind it all? Is that where we're going? Because Trick's going to turn heel to challenge Oba?
Yeah, maybe. Would I care if that happened? I'd care less.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I'm in the same boat as that too. The other thing is, who would you put over Obafemi? Who do they have that you would put over him?
Javon?
Maybe?
Ethan Page has already been there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Obafemi's going to have a really fucking long title reign.
Match of the night for you, and then how many beers for NXT Stand and Deliver?
Yeah, honourable mention to Hank Walker and Fraxiom, and that was a really fun match. But honestly, I really enjoyed the main event the most. Because, I'm a big Obafemi fan. Shocker there. It's a big, jacked up dude who does power moves and grunts and pounds his chest. Of course I like him.
So we already know Alex's match of the year is Obafemi versus Moose.
I mean, it was pretty... It was good. It was good. Yeah, but yeah, I'll give the main event match of the night an honorable mention to the tag belts and the women's title. Yeah, I thought the women's North American title match was good, but felt like it was a bit forced. I feel like they just happened to squeeze in like a North American title ladder match with a shitload of people every other year on these stand delivers or these Mania weekend shows for NXT. So it just feels a little forced, and they shouldn't have even been in the situation to begin with of Stephanie Vaca having to vacate that title. That was dumb to begin with.
Yes, that was dumb. It was also dumb doing this double champ thing when Julia was fine to come back 3 weeks later or something.
The whole thing was stupid. There was other ways they could have done it, yeah, and still protected both women. But, Shawn Michaels fucking loves beating himself up about being the chef and his cooking and all that sort of shit. Like, have you seen his profile picture on Twitter these days?
Yeah, and he does a bunch of TikTok dances with the NXT people. I've seen that.
Yeah, and it's like, you're either Brett or you're Shawn. Who would you rather be right now? I saw that look Brett gave Triple H at the Hall of Fame.
That was great. Never change, Brett.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. He doesn't. I feel like he never even intentionally tries to do this hilarious shit. It's just he's just such a sassy. Like he's so sassy that he just can't help it. NXT's doing well right now with the women. It's just they need to figure their shit out. There's just a little too much going on with the women and not enough going on in the men's main event scene. I feel like that's a pretty shallow division at the moment.
Yeah. How many beers did you say, sorry?
I'll give this 4 beers.
Ooh, okay. So I said match of the night, the main event, with an honourable mention to the women's championship, that being the 4-way women's championship, and 5 beers for myself there. WrestleMania night 1. But before we get there, pre-show action, because Alex texts me first thing in the morning on WrestleMania day, and I'm like, he does realise I'm going to work, and it's like, WWE acquires AAA. I'm like, is this even real, Alex, or are you just like trying to pull my leg WrestleMania day?
I was trying to pull your leg. But unfortunately, this is real.
Do you think those rumours that came out a few months ago about WWE acquiring Lucha Underground were related to this, and that was just a weird leak that turned out to be coincidental?
Maybe? I hope. Yeah, like as time goes on, like especially with the rumours now that Jeff Cobb's signing with WWE, like they've pretty much got the entire Lucha Underground main event scene in WWE now.
We might as well jump there for a quick moment, and then we can jump back to this WWE AEW news. So yes, Alex has alluded to there, Jeff Cobb last week finished up his dates with New Japan. Currently a free agent. The heavy rumour is he's going to WWE. Also finished up with New Japan. Bushi has finished with New Japan this coming weekend, as is former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Tatsuya Naito, finishing this weekend.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on?
Naito and New Japan could not come to a contract agreement.
So this is where I asked the question. I feel like an idiot for even like buying into this. That shirt The Rock was wearing, did you see that?
When he's doing his Rubik's Cube, yeah.
Like he missed WrestleMania because he had to try to solve a Rubik's Cube anyway.
6D chest.
He was too busy watching Shinya Hashimoto matches on the New Japan World.
Well, at least he can navigate the archive.
Nothing can stop the final boss from navigating the archive. But yeah, like, is there a possibility? Do you think that New Japan's next?
So WWE buys AAA. They've also got this partnership with TNA in the United States. They've got their partnership with Noah, who's got one of their talents over in NXT at the moment, and Omos was in Noah at the beginning of the year, then came back, didn't appear in the Rumble, and has just been sitting on the bench ever since. Idiots. Oh, by the way, he vacated that title for his team to win back that title in a vacated match.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think that's more so Noah's hands were tied and the way Japan books their titles is more legitimate sports based. So the New Japan release here regarding Naito says in recent week conversations have been ongoing between NJPW and Naito regarding Naito's future with wrestling activities. As a result of these communications, both parties have mutually agreed not to renew Naito's contract. New Japan apologises to the fans for any concern caused by this announcement.
I don't know if this is a hot take. I think Naito just left the only promotion that will be able to book him correctly. I think if he comes to America, he gets lost in the shuffle in every promotion in America, except maybe like a TNA. Maybe. But I can still see a world in which he gets lost in the shuffle there too.
What was he previously in TNA?
Yeah, he was. I will give them the benefit of the doubt that this is a relatively different TNA from 2008 or whatever it was. But the other thing is like, okay, so any of these major North American promotions, AEW, WWE, NXT, TNA, I don't think he does well in any of them. He is absolutely battered.
He's also got his eye condition where he's apparently going blind, Charlton said, for losing a degree of vision.
So, like, the only, like, option that... And it's like, okay, maybe he goes back to Mexico for a fucking nostalgia run there, right?
Who's even left there that he teamed with? Ruca is in AEW and La Sombra's in WWE again. La Sombra being Andrade.
I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of options. Like, if he goes to Mexico, I don't think that moves any needles. I don't think anyone will care. I think that if he goes to Noah, I don't think anyone will really care. I genuinely think he's left the only promotion where he can make a genuine impact in.
I'm just trying to see where Naito was trained. New Japan Dojo.
Now, Bushi, on the other hand, I think huge upside wherever he goes.
Naito is someone who's come through that young line system, through the New Japan system. He's not like a Sonata who started in, I'm just trying to think, Sonata 01 with Keiji Muto.
That's right, yep.
That's the thing, like, yeah, sure, Naito's done stints here and there, and his excursion was to Mexico, and he's done a bit of work in AEW, but this is old Naito now. He's never really worked for another Japanese promotion. He's always been loyal to New Japan. Over there, that's a really big thing. It's not like in the United States where a lot of the wrestlers will chase the biggest dollar contract. I could see him maybe going back for a short run in CMLL, just for the hell of it, teaming with whatever group he wants to over there, maybe doing a tour of the United States with AEW, but I honestly do not see where he goes unless he makes the jump to Noah as like a part-time legend sort of person. Like WWE, they signed Hikulelu about this time last year, and he is yet to debut in any facet of the company in ring.
Yeah, and Tomatonga's down a partner too, so there was a fucking real easy way they could have brought him in.
Oh yeah, there's another good tag team in SmackDown, Gorillas. Debatable.
I mean, it's a tag team on SmackDown.
Triple H did mention to Cole, it might have actually been during the acquisition announcement, that Triple H's idea a decade ago was to partner with these promotions to acquire them. Now, if you remember, about a decade ago, they started pairing with some European companies, and then those companies ended up on the WWE network for some of their library. These being WXW, Progress, ICW, and OTT of Ireland. We all thought, oh, okay, maybe they're going to buy some of them, but that never eventuated. Do you think they might be looking back over to some of those for a European foothold?
I do wonder. Yeah, it's a fair question. It also makes you think, like, if he's saying like these partnerships are to buy him out, it makes you think like, okay, so you partnered with Noah, you've got a partnership with All Japan as well. Like, what's going to happen here? Like, there's also a fucking world there where they could fucking do a NXT Worlds Collide with fucking All Japan and Noah on the same show.
Yeah. Well, the only real time those two worked together was in a recent fundraiser show where they do that unified Japan Pro Wrestling all together shows.
And there's a world right now where they could do a show with like NXT, AAA, All Japan, Noah,
Tokyo Joshi Pro, Marigold.
Yeah, Marigold. Fuck, like that's cool as hell. It's crazy, but yeah. I've been seeing like things about AAA. Like seen rumors that like Jeremy Borash is going to go over and head creative for AAA or whatever.
Isn't he doing that at the moment for Evolve?
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me either. Jeremy Borash, color commentator on WWE LFG, my fucking guilty pleasure watch each week.
Mickey James, you can't have your ass out and be a female wrestler. Also, Mickey James over GCW weekend. Yeah. She is the hardcore country.
Yeah, so yeah, AAA.
AAA, I find it incredible. Like at this announcement, there's all the WWE luchadors, Mexican wrestlers. Yes, the majority of them came from CMLL. Stephanie Vaca, for example. But you do have the AAA connection with Rey Mysterio Jr. there.
You've also got like a lot of people that left AAA for very good reasons.
Yeah.
If you look into all I can say is look into the Stephanie Vaca backstory with AAA. It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, which was, without going too much into details, it was surprising that she was one of the ones front and center for this announcement, given some of the allegations and the backstory to that story.
Or what about like how Tony Khan wanted Andrade to beat Kenny Omega for the AAA Mega Championship, and AAA said, no, we don't think Andrade's a big enough star. And then he's at this press conference.
You know who wasn't at this press conference? That idiot with the big nose, the AAA Mega Champion, Alberto El Patron. No mention of him whatsoever. That speaks volumes. Do you think, given this new ownership structure, he's soon moved out to, I guess, Mexican independence?
I definitely see a world where that happens. I'm looking at the roster right now, and it's like, okay, who could they get? And I'm just thinking, like, holy fuck, they could have Judas Macias.
Oh, he still wrestles?
You have El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. Aerostar's fantastic. Laredo Kid is on this roster, but his, I think he's signed to TNA, but that doesn't really matter anyway.
Off the top of my head, I'd say TNA sounds right, yeah, but they've got the partnership there.
There's Psycho Clown, who's a huge star in Mexico. Sam Adonis is an interesting one because that's Corey Graves' brother.
Yeah, he did mention that on this week's NXT that I watched today as we are recording.
Oh, nice. Besides that, like, I don't think there is a whole lot of talent, like a whole lot of like must-have talent. I'm sure there's a lot of talent on this roster. Big names, not really. Like, Vikingo's the biggest. There's no fucking chance in hell they do anything with Alberto Del Rio. No way, right?
Given the last time he spoke about Triple H, I highly doubt it. Yeah, it will be bloody interesting.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the other on-air talent. Like, they've got Matt Stryker on this roster.
Oh, that's where Stryker went. I know we haven't been on air since then, and there was sort of a period of respectfulness once the news did break, but an Australian who did have a big connection to this company, Australian Suicide, Ryan Rollins, who passed away earlier this year. That to me is one of the saddest things. Like this news coming shortly after his passing, and it's just like
I hadn't even thought about that. That's
if only he had this chance. I suppose we'll touch a bit more on that next week when we do a bit of a normal show, and we can do a bit of a tribute and a look back at him. But yeah, he was a former cruiserweight champion in AAA, 211 days. Lost it to Sammy Guevara at a Triple Mania. Where the hell were we? WrestleMania, that's right. Chris does know things, somewhat. Kind of. WrestleMania, so we just talked about the AAA acquisition. Should we talk about some of the actual action?
I mean, yeah, we probably should. I'd rather skip to night 2, but let's talk about night 1.
Okay, Alex slept through all of night 1, so we'll jump over to night 2. Firstly, the stage this year not just being a giant LED board. I love it.
Yeah, it was a giant fucking Las Vegas casino. It was fucking awesome. And there was actually, like, crowd on the stage.
Yeah, congratulations to those people who got a ticket, selling their firstborn to secure that ticket. Ticket prices this year, fucking insane.
I saw a video on Twitter of Randy Orton at an airport talking about the ticket prices with like some fans, and Randy Orton's like, "How much was it for ringside seats?" And they're like, "Oh, 30,000." And he's like, "It's not worth it, man. Don't buy that."
Imagine selling your house to go to WrestleMania, and you get there and you're like, "Oh, cool, Randy Orton's at the airport." Yeah, your tickets aren't worth it, mate. In-ring action kicks off with Jey Uso coming out to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, going 16:30, and Gunther taps out of like a 10-second sleeper hold.
I mean, the forgivable part of this was he hit like 3 splashes in a row.
Yeah, but still, crank on the sleeper. Don't just sort of lock it in, like, wrench on it a little.
I was having a bit of a conniption about this. Like, I thought I'm in the same boat as you about this. Don't worry about that. But friend of the show, Warren, pointed out to me, go back to the Ilya Dragunov match. That finished with Ilya putting Walter at the time. He might have been Gunther at that point in a sleeper, and Gunther like immediately tapped out.
Okay then.
Perhaps Gunther playing into the whole like he's actually a fucking bully in typical bully fashion. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. So he can hand out these sleeper holds, but as soon as he gets put in one, he gives up immediately. Typical cowardly bully. That's how it was explained to me. But they have yet to make that canon.
We'll get to Raw. Match 2, the War Raiders, or should I say, the Clash of Clan experience of Pekka and King Pekka taking on the New Day, Kofi and Xavier Woods. And New Day win. Big E's not on commentary. This was a fucking horrible match. The whole time the commentators are screaming, "Work the neck, the injured neck of Pekka." Shut the fuck up. I get it's about the neck. Oh, this match on Friday is going to blow this match out of the fucking water.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe the only reason this went on instead of the other one is because they didn't have the time to give the TLC match.
Oh, with our 1,000 celebrity shots to the camera and our all-important dude wipe mascot. Like, no, you had time. You just rocked it full of filler.
Hey, guys, let me tell you a little secret. Dude wipes, they're like 5 times more expensive than baby wipes, and they're the exact same thing. Just buy baby wipes. As someone who lives in a household that is permanently stocked with baby wipes these days, it's a life changer.
Match number 3 of the card was Jade Cargill coming out, and there's a weather person saying a storm is coming. And if Jade's like entrance in the daylight didn't already look shit enough, this goober trying to do a weather report just like, what the hell are you doing? That doesn't build an aura.
My God, it was so tacky.
It was something that Vince probably would have done 10 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I thought of, and I'm just like, this isn't good. Their match was fine. Like, for a Raw level match, I didn't feel this got to WrestleMania levels. I felt this should have had, like, an Extreme Rules or Falls Count Anywhere stipulation to it to sort of really drive home this bad blood if this is going to be the blow-off. It's just sort of enough and happened match. I thought we're 3 matches in, and this match was the best match so far.
Yeah, unreal.
Match number 4, and the night starts to pick up. Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the United States Championship, and Jacob Fatu winning the United States Championship here. No bloodline, just classic one-on-one match as Solo does come out for the entrance but goes straight to the back.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something that hasn't really been spoken enough about with LA Knight. It's that he over-delivers when he's put in big matches or when he's put on big stage. Last year, there was a nothing match with AJ Styles, which was way better than it had any right to be.
Speaking of nothing matches with AJ Styles,
this year, like, the Jacob Fatu match exceeded all expectations because, like, I don't know what it is about LA Knight. No matter how many good matches he has, people still have it in their head that, like, he's just a promo guy. That's it. So then whenever he has a good match, people are surprised. But should we get over that surprise by now? Because, like, when the lights are on bright, he brings it. And Haku showed up.
payday for Haku.
Yeah, payday for Haku. I'm always happy to see Haku. I'm not sure if he was meant to be there or not, but who the fuck's going to stop him?
Didn't he bite the nose off someone?
Yeah, just some dude that told him that wrestling was fake at a bar.
We here respect our king Haku.
Yeah, some dude that probably has a lot of difficulty wearing sunglasses these days.
Following that, Rey Mysterio was injured on SmackDown, so subbing in for him is Rey Fenix, taking on El Grande Americano. This match going 7:55. El Hero del Vikingo is ringside. They just call him Vikingo on commentary.
I'm not shocked that they've dumbed down his name.
Yeah. I'm just saying that in an audio sense, so any of our listeners don't get confused there. I'm guessing the payoff for El Grande Americano will now be at Worlds Collide as he puts the medal in the mask and taps out Rey Fenix. Yeah. It was fine.
The payoff's got to be like, yeah, him, Arena Mexico, mask versus mask with someone.
Well, I would say Arena Mexico, but Worlds Collide is Los Angeles because AEW is running Arena Mexico with CMLL the following week.
That's where I've got confused. Right, okay. I mean, Worlds Collide, nonetheless, that'd be a good place to do it.
If Rey Mysterio isn't cleared by then, do you put in Vikingo to do it?
You do hair versus mask.
When was the last time we even saw that in WWE? Straight Edge Society?
Possibly, yeah. Possibly. I think, I can't believe this was a thing. I think there was a mask versus mask match with the Sin Caras.
Oh, that's right. And then Hunico got unmasked. And then proper Sin Cara got fired and went to Mexico and became Mystica, who took over from the villain Mystica. Yeah, Lucha Libre is complicated, everyone. And then Hunico became the Sin Cara of WWE.
Yeah. But now, like, Hunico's in Mexico as, like, a Mystico, but not the Mystico. I'm not sure which one he is. Anyway, it's complicated.
Following that, match number 6 of the evening, Tiffany Stratton, your women's champion, against Charlotte Flair, who won the Rumble. The build-up to this, your opinions, Alex?
Build-up was fucking awful. It was two people going into business for themselves, right?
Yeah, are you of the opinion that both are in the wrong, like no one's in the right here. For that Kaiser's in my DMs comment and what's your record 3-0?
I agree. Okay, so it all started with that first segment they did where like Charlotte just like railroaded Tiffany the entire interview and wouldn't let her talk. So then Tiffany, like the next week, has this chip on her shoulder and says all this shit about the divorces. And then Charlotte pipes back with like, "Causes in my DMs," and it's like the key thing about a big championship match at WrestleMania is that there's a good guy and a bad guy. Someone has to be likable for us to give a fuck. And no one in the build up to this came across as a likable person.
Yep. Completely agree with that.
And then you have the fucking match, and then for the first time in her fucking career, Charlotte decides to fucking wear like bright pink and blue. She starts wearing fucking Tiffany's colors in a match against Tiffany. Like, there was points there where I was fucking confused with who I was looking at.
Yeah, when my internet was buffering, I'm trying to figure out which one's the blonde with the pink. And going, is this Tiffy or is this Charlotte?
Yeah, like, I could only imagine if you bought one of the nosebleeds that cost $3,500, but if you bought one of the nosebleeds and you just trying to look at the ring from a distance, you're not going to be able to tell shit.
I saw a few of the photos from the nosebleeds. You could barely see the ring. I'm just like, no, I'd rather pay to just go over for a rumble and sit in the nosebleeds with a few mates and have beers than go to a Mania and sit in the nosebleeds.
Like, at that point, you're paying however much to watch a screen. So why not just watch it at home?
Tiffany at least comes out. She has her big Barbie entrance. She wanted to do something like this in NXT that got shot down a few years ago. So having the casino transform into a Barbie dream house for her character was pretty cool. Charlotte comes out in a car.
So yeah, this was the yin and yang of WrestleMania entrances. And like, what I like about WrestleMania entrances is when they make sense to the character. And then sometimes with WrestleMania entrances, they just do big shit for the sake of doing big shit. It's like, oh, okay, now Charlotte's got a car. And, okay, that'd be kind of cool if they didn't, like, 2 matches ago, have LA Knight come out in a car.
That's also true. We'll get into this match here because how quickly in was Tiffy given a shiner above her left eye? Pretty quick?
Like, yeah, straight into it. And it's like, okay, you guys don't like each other. You guys are giving each other receipts in this match. It's not fun to watch.
Charlotte just casually taking Stephanie Vacuo's moves.
Yep.
I've shared this photo in the Discord. I can only just describe this as like the utter disrespect of a pin, where she's pie-facing Tiffany as a pin with both hands over Tiffany's face.
Yeah.
The only good thing I can say about this match is it ended. Fuck me, was that horrible.
It was awful. Absolutely awful.
Tiffany's teeth, from what people are saying, she just like had a busted lip, so that's why there was blood on her teeth and she didn't like chip a tooth or anything. Various reports, depending on what outlet you listen to. Some people are saying sandbagging. Some people are not saying sandbagging during this match. I'll let you all go and watch the match and get to your own conclusions there. Oh boy. Main event time. Out first. Bin liner. Seth Rollins. Flamethrower. I see he's visited Dwayne's closet. WrestleMania 32. Then comes out Roman, and yes, as everyone said, they actually use these hanging screens good for Roman's entrance, having all the former Bloodline members' faces show up on it, so that was a cool touch.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
And then Punk's entrance, and it has the video package of him from like 15 years ago in OVW, his debut promo to WWE ECW. And then he comes out, Living Colour is playing, walks down with Paul Heyman, match begins. The previous match and the filler between it, because I'm watching on delay, I skipped a lot of the filler. So the start of this match, I'm feeling a bit down, and I've seen what other people have said online. I'm guessing because most of them are watching live, they have a chance to sort of, in the filler, regain themselves and be like, yeah, I'm pumped for this match. I just went straight from the end of the other match to the entrances of this match.
Yeah.
Once the match got going, I was really into it. The crowd sounded good for this match. They'd been dead for most of the event. Punk's down. Paul Heyman gets in the ring, gives a chair to Punk, and saying, hit him, pointing at Roman Reigns. And then Paul gets down on his knee. Low blow to Punk. Punk goes down. He goes, you made me choose. And then he takes the chair, gives it to Roman, saying, hit him, my tribal chief. Pointing towards Seth, but then low blow to Roman. And Paul aligns himself with Seth, and Seth wins the main event of night one. And we have this new combination going off the air of Seth and Paul Heyman.
I mean, this match was fantastic. I loved this match. I mean, this is a case of, like, perhaps too much social media kind of ruined the finish of this for me. Because, like, I've seen so much talk about, Seth and Heyman, that's got to be the direction, that it, like, felt predictable to me that it ended up being Seth and Heyman, which is obviously, like, the biggest swerve of all, but somehow it ended up feeling predictable to me. So perhaps that isn't the booking's fault. Perhaps that's just Twitter's fault.
So I was thinking, okay, Paul's gonna turn on Punk and side with Roman. And once that happened, I was like, okay, sweet. And now he's gonna hit Seth and get revenge from this Shield thing. I did not expect the double turn. So I popped when I saw him do that to Roman.
Going into this match, did it feel to you that, like, Roman was the only heel in the build-up to this match?
And what, that Seth was more tweener?
Like, Seth was more of a tweener and Punk was the only babyface, but, like, didn't feel like Seth was outright heel in the build-up to this. I don't think Roman was outright babyface in the build-up to this either. Roman has been babyface, like, recently because of the solo stuff, but that was like, was he really babyface, or was he just in a match against someone who's just a bit more hateable than him? Yeah, this was an actual double turn in a sense, because Seth has gone gone heel out of this, and Roman has gone full babyface out of this. So you've got a match with three people. You managed to do a double turn in a triple threat match. Well, technically you've done a triple turn, right? Because Heyman's turned as well. It was like this weird thing where, like, Roman wasn't fully babyface, but, like, Heyman was kind of fully babyface. Yeah, because, like, Heyman was, like, fully babyface because he copped that ass kicking from GOD and Solo.
Match of the night for you for night one, and how many beers?
Main event is my match of the night. Beers, I will be generous because of the main event and give them 3, because that night sucked.
I think removed now, match of the night, main event, with an honourable mention to Fatu and Knight for the US title.
Yeah. Jacob, Fatu, and LA Knight was a really good match too.
But that night sucked. 2 out of 6 beers.
Yeah.
Night 2, blinked and you missed it on night 1 pre-show. Bailey got taken out backstage and Bird Person has 24 hours to find a replacement because she's not defending her IC title. Dumb. Matches. Kicking off, women's triple threat for the Women's World Championship. Io Sky, the defending champ, taking on Bianca Belair, who's not been pinned at WrestleMania, taking on Rhea Ripley, who every WrestleMania she's been at has been for a championship. Fucking hell, what a way to kick off a show, man.
Yeah, this match was unreal. Going into this, there was no other result possible than Io Sky winning. I thought that they had booked themselves into a corner here where they've actually made it so predictable that Io was going to win because of how little focus was on the build-up, was on Io in the build-up. Because, like, they were doing that whole thing of, like, Bianca and Rhea are fighting and Io tries to get in the middle and they both just push her away. You can't treat your world champ like that and then have her lose in that match.
Yeah, I sort of overlooked that on my predictions. I was sort of thinking, well, Bianca hasn't lost at WrestleMania, so they're going to want to keep a streak going, whether even for 2 years or 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point too, but, like, even if they kept the streak going, there's always that asterisk about it because she was in a WrestleMania Battle Royal that she lost.
Yeah, the name redacted Memorial Battle Royale.
Yeah, where her and, like, a bunch of other people from NXT stop in the middle of the match to chant NXT. Do you remember that?
I do now.
It was so gross.
Io here, getting the win, pinning Bianca. She walks out of WrestleMania with her women's championship. They also mention it's the first time a Japanese woman has won at WrestleMania for a championship.
Yeah, and it's the first time in, like, I think I saw Shinsuke Nakamura tweet this out. First time in 27 years since a Japanese person had won a match at WrestleMania. And we're talking back to WrestleMania 14 or some shit when Taka Michinoku defended the light heavyweight title.
Really? 14. I've got it up in front of me now. Taka Michinoku defeated... Who the hell is that? Oh, S.A. Rios. Under a different name.
Under a mask, yeah.
Wow, that is a long-ass time.
Yeah, you would think. And, like, before then, the only other Japanese person that had won a match at WrestleMania wasn't a Japanese person.
No, he never would have. It would have been Yokozuna.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 9.
I watched during the week via Nefarious Means, they did a documentary on WrestleMania 9 that featured a heap of, like, backstage footage and stuff.
Yeah, I hope to catch that later this week.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Really cool.
Match number 2 of the evening. Your boy, well, actually, not your boy, Warwick's boy, Drew McIntyre, faces Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight, going 13:55 with Drew here getting the win as he's still bored at work.
Yeah, I mean, I had, like, going into this, I was like, why is this match even happening? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, this is that sort of match that's going to end up fucking stealing the show because both of these guys would have a fucking point to prove here. And, like, Drew's going to be like, I've just spent fucking 3 months talking about being the bloodline hunter, and then we get to WrestleMania and I've got nothing to do with the bloodline. So he's got a point to prove there. Damian Priest has just come out of the main event scene on Raw and probably wants to prove that he's not just, like, a one-off champ. And it's like these two have really good styles that mesh well together. And yeah, the more I thought about it in the build-up to this, I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking good. And it was. It was really fucking good.
I agree with that. It was a really good match.
They wrestled like two people that wanted to prove something to people.
They had a point to prove.
Yeah.
Match number 3 of the evening. Dominic Mysterio challenging Bron Breakker, the Intercontinental Champion, along with Finn Balor and Penta El Zero Miedo. Isn't it insane that both Lucha Bros have been in the company less than 4 months and are already WrestleMania debuting?
Yeah, it's outrageous. Especially, like, Phoenix shouldn't have been on this card, but he's just managed to get in there.
Phoenix, I'm injured. You've been here for 2 weeks. Do you want to go to Mania tomorrow night?
And, like, a lot of people are really hung up on the fact that Phoenix lost, right? And it's like, no, there's a story to tell here. Calm down. Phoenix will be fine.
I think if they hadn't announced Worlds Collide and that they're like really building up the luchadors, the Latin American stars for this show, I could see some of that being justified, but you've got to play this out. Phoenix has been here for 2 weeks. You're playing into a longer story. The end goal's either Rey Mysterio or the Kingo, so that's where that story's going.
And also, to be honest, like, one of the biggest, like, issues with debuting people is figuring out how they're going to get their first loss and still be okay. And they got that taken care of pretty quickly with Phoenix. They got it out of the way, and they can move on and do whatever they want with him now.
Did you happen to catch the promo from WWE World or Countdown or one of their various 48 hours of content this weekend of Bron Breakker doing Steiner math?
I did see that, actually. That was fantastic. Yeah, that was very good. That was on the kickoff show because, you know, you start WrestleMania with a kickoff, I guess.
I got 129.5% chance of winning at WrestleMania.
And Dominic Mysterio knows he can't beat me.
He's not even going to try.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. Yeah, and that brings me back to the WrestleMania 9 documentary with, like, Scott Steiner just, like, showing up in the documentary just to tell everyone that he thinks that Randy Savage is the reason Hulk Hogan had the black eye and that Hulk Hogan's full of shit, and that's the only appearance of him in the whole documentary. And they show the footage to Hulk Hogan. He's like, oh, well, Scott Steiner's never really liked me that much.
Why did Hogan have a black eye?
Well, according to him, a 700-pound jet ski landed on his head.
I don't believe anything that man says. According to him, he headlined the Tokyo Dome and WrestleMania on the same day.
According to him, he worked 400 days in a year because he traveled back and forth in time zones so much that he actually gained like fucking 40 days. That doesn't make sense. He is legitimately said that he's wrestled 400 days in a year.
He headlined Wembley.
Yeah, he headlined Wembley at SummerSlam in a fucking card that everyone could see he wasn't on. Fuck, mate, the headlining match for that card had the Intercontinental title in it. You were not in that.
He's so stupid. Dominic, though, here, getting the win, starting the era of Dirty Dom as he pins Finn Balor. Will this lead to tension in the Judgment Day? Tune in to Raw to find out tomorrow. Now, Randy Orton is out next for a mystery opponent, open challenge, and it is answered by say his name and he appears. We believe in Joe Hendry.
I was shocked by this, to be honest. I hadn't even thought about it as a possibility. As soon as it happened, I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, why wouldn't they do that? This is a brilliant move in the end because this props up one of your partners, highlights their big star. It doesn't matter that that person loses because, let's be real, no one expects a TNA guy to win at WrestleMania anyway.
No one expects Joe Hendry unannounced to beat Randy Orton on his 20th WrestleMania.
Exactly. So that's fine. And then they got to use someone who just happens to be a fucking gift magnet so they can create a fucking viral moment such as, you know, the spin around into an RKO, which was fucking awesome. But then Randy Orton doing the turnaround into his pose was fucking awesome too. Which, like, just gave me flashbacks to last year when he was fucking barking at speed. But yeah, I mean, it was fantastic.
It was everything it needed to be.
Like, I saw a lot of people being like, oh, Aleister Black, or like, oh, Rusev. And it's like, I thought about it, and it's like, Randy Orton shouldn't lose at Mania. But if they're bringing in Rusev or Aleister Black, they can't lose either.
The SmackDown before, they've already started announcing the date for this spooky vignette that's probably going to be Aleister Black this week, I think.
Yeah, they aired that and then cut to Zelina Vega, which was like tongue-in-cheek, like, huh? Who's she married to? Huh?
From there, next match on the card, match number 5, social media dickhead Logan Paul comes out to challenge AJ Styles and pins him in 1750. This went way longer than it needed to. I've seen so many people put over Logan Paul's entrance. It's like, guys, it's a drone cutting to multiple camera angles. This is not a WrestleMania entrance.
I agree with you on that.
This is not the bar for a WrestleMania entrance you want to die on. It looks cool, but it's not WrestleMania worthy.
No, I thought this was a good match. The finish was just a bit meh for me.
This felt like a SmackDown match, and then Karrion Kross appears, and Logan's mate Jeff, and that leads to distraction, and Paul wins. Speaking of Karrion Kross, you sent me a video.
Holy shit, he went off on one of those fucking WWE shows that nobody watches with Sam Roberts on it. Yeah, he came on with Scarlett and started talking about how once asked Bill Goldberg for advice, or like Bill Goldberg gave him advice to be a good soldier for the company, and where'd that get him? It got him released. And then he talked about how he's done with the guy in the back that's wearing the suit and tie. He can go fuck himself. And like, whilst he's saying all this shit, like, Scarlett legitimately looks like she's about to shit herself. Like, oh fuck, you're going here. Like, it seemed like Scarlett had no idea he was going to do it either. And I was like, holy shit, guess what? I never thought this day would come, but I give a fuck about Karrion Kross now.
Yeah, the old TNA Killer Kross is back. The character who actually had some depth.
Yeah, and he legitimately referred to himself as Killer Kross at the end of this promo too.
And you bring up a good point, because I have watched this back a few times. I watched it first, and then I was really watching Karrion the second time, and I watched it back a third time, and I'm watching Scarlett. And Scarlett's like got this look of concern, and she's sort of, like rubbing Kross's shoulder, sort of trying to calm him down, and I'm going...
Then there's just this moment where, like, you can just see that she's a fucking good wife, where she just goes, okay, this is where we're going. All right, I'm in there with you.
I'm in the ditch with you.
There's just this moment where she just, like, looks at him. She's like, oh, shit, you're really doing this? And she sort of nods her head and just like, okay, let's do it. Stares at the camera. Yeah.
Following that, co-main event of the evening. Third person. Via Valkyria with mystery partner that turns out to be Becky Lynch returning. Defeat Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez via pinfall to capture the Women's Tag Team Championship. Oh boy, here we go. This is a baffling decision. Why didn't you show off your 2 new women's divisions of US and IC? And we can get into it in Raw, but I have even more rants. I did not enjoy this match. Lyra's attire looked like there was a plucked chicken in the ring. The amount of picking up the referee was attempting to do and then just gave up. Her feathers everywhere.
Have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I'm the trash man.
Yeah, where the 3 guys are the birds of war with their feathers, and they're like, we're the birds of war, yeah. Yeah, Lyra looked like one of the birds of war out of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with her feather arms.
I don't know. I have nothing nice to say about this match. It happened.
Especially in hindsight of like what happens on Raw the next night too.
Yeah, give us a minute and we'll get there. Main event time. Cody Rhodes, your defending, undisputed WWE Champion. Challenging him is John Cena.
With the most beautiful fucking Titantron ever. It's just black with like white generic font John Cena, and that's all it is. I love it so much.
Go on, what are your thoughts of this match?
I'm split two ways about it. I wonder, Cena's whole heel thing has been, oh, you want to see me do all this different shit now that I'm a heel and I'm giving you nothing. Is this match bad on purpose? That's my question. If so, it might be the fucking most genius thing ever.
Like on a meta level? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Like the match wasn't as bad as I've seen people say it is, but it wasn't great. Also, like, the match makes so much sense. Cena gave us fucking nothing in that match. He said, you get nothing. He's not going to give you a fucking epic big match John match because you get nothing. You just get him fucking punching and kicking and eye poking and Travis Scott.
Which led to questions of, where's Dwayne?
Which was fucking dumb. If you're not going to deliver Dwayne, don't send out Travis Scott.
But he's your unofficial hardcore champion.
Yeah, he also calls himself Cactus Jack for some reason. I don't get it.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person here. I don't get that either. They keep mentioning, Cactus Jack partnership, and I'm thinking, oh, cool, Mick Foley something or other, and no, it's Travis Scott something or other.
Yeah, I don't get it. But, like, I'm guessing it is a tribute to Mick Foley because he does seem to be a big fan of wrestling.
And he does have the hardcore title. Ooh. So, yeah. As you mentioned, Travis Scott comes out. The ref's already down. He gets in the ring. Cody gets Scott. Crossroads to him. And then Cena picks up the belt. The actual belt, not the hardcore belt. And goes to Cody, and Cody takes the belt from Cena, and Cena's going, oh, Cody, you won't hit me, I'm your hero, John Cena. And Cody goes, throws the belt away. You're an idiot, Cody. Kicking the balls, and then the ref comes back in, and Cena gets the win. 17-time world champion, and they're talking they broke Flair's record, and depending how you count Flair's championship reigns, because WWE doesn't count all of the NWA WCW reigns, Flair's record sits between 16 and 21.
Yeah, Billy Corgan had the chance to do the funniest thing over the weekend and announce that the NWA officially recognizes those 5 championship reigns by Ric Flair.
That'd be cool.
I'm just saying that would require Billy Corgan to have a pulse on the wrestling landscape and think about a way to make himself actually relevant in the wrestling world.
I was going to say, if he does that, though, you do know Flair's going to come back for another match. Yeah, I'm not as down on the match as so many others are. Yes, I see the criticism of the ref bump and Travis Scott and Dwayne not being there. Overall, it did what Cena said he was going to do. He's going to give us nothing, and that's what happened.
He's actually put himself in a really good position with this heel run because he has said publicly he has lost a step. So by making his character basically be that he's putting no effort in anymore, it gives him an excuse to have actually lost a step. It gives him an out if his matches aren't that great. So, like, for all we know right now, John Cena could have actually been trying to tear shit up with Cody. But because of his gimmick, I'm here defending it.
Do you have a match of the night and beer rating for night 2 of WrestleMania?
Oh, match of the night 2. I'm going to have to give it to the girls with the probably one of the best WrestleMania openers in a long ass time. Yeah, and I'll give the beer rating night 2, like, what did I give night 1? Like 3? So night 2 has to get 5 by default.
I agree with you. Match of the night is the women's opener. And then I said 4 out of 6. I did sort of shave off points for the length, and then that middle portion where it was Logan Paul, AJ, and the Women's Tag Championship. Do you have time for quickly going through Raw?
Of course, mate.
Okay, Raw opens. Cena comes out, says he had 36 dates, but time goes by so quickly, and lists off all the dates, and now it's only 27.
By the way, I love the incorporation of his dates into this story. It's fucking perfect.
And then he goes, they're dates, not matches, appearances. So he's letting you know, I don't have to wrestle every 27 more times. I just have to appear. Turns around, RKO out of nowhere. Amazing.
Yeah, like Randy versus Cena, that's perfect because, yeah, it's a big rivalry that's been done to death, but we've never seen heel Cena versus face Randy. That's never been a thing. And the addition of this countdown to this gimmick is so fucking perfect because it's adding a sense of urgency to every fucking match now. It's like when that countdown gets into the single digits, it's going to be a big deal.
You'd already know it's 26 because one of those dates is going to be Perth, so that already knocks it down to 26. That's only one of those dates. If he appears for at least two of those dates, that knocks it down to 25 because he's advertised for at least one day in Perth.
It's October, right? So what's that, Bad Blood?
They haven't confirmed what the event is yet. It's just being advertised as WWE TakeOver Perth with Raw, SmackDown, and a to-be-named premium live event. Although Survivor Series got named today for November at Padres Stadium in the US.
Yeah, I've been there.
What?
Yeah, I went there when I was like 14, 15. I went to San Diego. Mum had a overseas work deal and I got to tag along because it was during the summer school holidays.
How have I never heard this story before?
Yeah, and like it was 2006, so like I was in San Diego when Rey Mysterio was world champion, which was kind of cool.
From there, Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeat Bird Person and Becky Lynch via pinfall to regain their Women's Tag Team Championships with NXT's Gigi, Dolin, Tatum, Paxley in the crowd scouting out the competition for the next night. When people ask me who killed the Women's Tag Team division, the answer will be Bird Person, because 95% of the crowd are behind Liv hitting Oblivion on her to win. But Becky turns on Bird Person. Why? I don't know. Why did she team with Bird Person in the first place? I don't know. How was Becky a mentor to Bird Person when they only teamed for one night? I don't know. If Becky is a heel, why did the crowd chant one more time during the beatdown and she went back in the ring to beat down Bird Person one more time to cheers? I don't know. But at least your women's IC title was really featured well on WrestleMania, right? Nope. Alex, what the fuck was the point of this? And don't you dare tell me a fucking WrestleMania moment.
No, but that is how they will justify it. I mean, they have in the past mentioned the history with Lyra and Becky when Becky had her fucking very forgettable NXT women's title run a couple of years ago. So there has been mention in the past if you watch NXT. But, like, who the fuck remembers that shit?
Okay, fine. That crosses out the mentor friends question I have. Why did she turn heel and why did she agree to team with her in the first place?
So I'm guessing that the story is going to be like, how dare you fucking let me down by losing the titles the night after we win them? Like, of course I beat you up, blah, blah, blah. Like, you embarrassed me. I feel like we've just done about 3 months worth of storytelling in 2 nights. And when you do shit like that, so much shit gets skipped over. They needed to tell more of a story as to why they're fucking together to begin with. Like, sure, I know the backstory, but not everyone does.
I don't get it. I don't get it other than to do some hot shot bullshit.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Yeah, but at least This was all worth doing this and not putting Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green on WrestleMania 4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Idiots. New Day come out to say how good they are, the future Hall of Famers, yada yada yada. But they're interrupted by Alpha Academy with Maxine, and Maxine calls New Day Minutemen because last time Alpha Academy bet New Day in under a minute. They said let's have an impromptu tag match, but the lights go out, and returning, it's a very happy day. In fact, it's a very happy Rusev Day. New Day bail out, and Alpha Academy are in the ring. They get laid out, and Otis gets put in the accolade. Rusev, banger of a new theme, but good way to debut.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I'm a little confused by his involvement in the tag scene, but that's fine. It saved us an Alpha Academy match, so that's good. He looks like $1 million. His shorts are very, 1998 Mark Mero.
That's a callback.
Yeah, no, and at one point, his gimmick basically was Mark Mero, and Lana was Sable. It is kind of ironic. This is good. I don't know if this is. I'm just not very optimistic about this run. I think there's a pretty low ceiling for him.
What belts Raw got? IC, so that'd be Dom. I guess you could build up to him eventually facing Dom or someone thereof. Then you're just doing the whole Redeemer thing, but in WWE, aren't you?
I mean, it's a good debut. It's a good return. It's a lot better than debuting as a best man for Kip Sabian, and you're also a fucking video game nerd that fucking wears Mickey Mouse pants.
Forgot about that.
This is a lot better than how he first showed up in AEW.
Absolutely agree. Judgment Day, Finn turns up to the clubhouse saying what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so it seems they're all united. Then we go back from ads. Io Sky's in the ring. She gets interrupted by Stephanie Vacker. They say that they respect each other, have an impromptu non-title match that ends in a no contest because Roxanne, Perez and Julia run in to attack Sky and Vacker. And then Rhea runs out to make the save and has quite the shiner from last night. I didn't catch where Rhea got this from, but yeah, quite the shiner on her eye.
Yeah, it sure was.
Do we think this is a full-time call-up for Perez and Julia, or was this just a way to set up to Tuesday's NXT?
I'm not sure. I'm a bit confused about it all. I hope this is a call-up for Julia, Perez, and maybe even Stephanie Vacker. Yeah, overall, I'm a little lost as to where the direction is on this. It also, to an extent, felt like it was just promoting, the next night there's Stephanie Vacker versus Roxanne Perez. So, it could have just been an advertisement for NXT.
Jey Uso Championship Celebration. Yeet. And we get the unexpected return of Sami Uso and Jimmy, and they all celebrate with him. The best bit about this was the career retrospective video they aired before he came out.
Yeah, it was very good.
Social media dickhead Logan Paul's backstage says a win's a win, and then off in another part of backstage, AJ Styles says he'll take the L before Killer confronts him. So hopefully this leads to AJ Styles and Killer Cross.
Hopefully.
Then we get commentators talking, and then Gunther comes out and he beats up Michael Cole, but Pat McAfee charges at Gunther, who releases Cole from a choke and then chokes out McAfee, and all of McAfee's friends to the front row jump the barricade, so security's stopping them instead of getting Gunther off McAfee. I felt there was way too much time sort of given to this.
Yes.
And it went for 3 segments. And then we get Joe Tessitore for the rest of the night as McAfee's off. But then McAfee's doing his talk show the next morning and he's fine.
Yep.
Main event match here is Dominic Mysterio defeats Penta in 8:02 because JD McDonough returns and helps Judgment Day. And Vince Basel to this really told the story where even he didn't know that JD was coming back. Main event segment was Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman to close the show. Punk runs down, but Rollins goes after him and gets Punk laid out. Roman comes down and spears Seth. Superman punch to Heyman. Lines up for a spear on Heyman, goes, ooh, ah. And then someone comes in, spears him. It's Braun Breaker, the newest Paul Heyman guy. This was great. This felt like a good Raw after Mania compared to years gone past or recent years.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but this was better than WrestleMania.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's fair. Like, the only real thing on here that I can say was bad was the killing of the women's tag division yet again for reasons of hot potatoing, and the commentator thing took a bit too much time. But at least that led to something.
Exactly.
Yeah, this was a really good match. Here's a question though that I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, night 1 was average, night 2 was great." Do you think if they combined it into one night, got rid of a lot of filler, and kept the same amount of matches, it would have been a good or a bad WrestleMania?
I think if they turned it into one night, we'd be saying it was a shit WrestleMania because it went for 7 hours. Because do we not remember what the last one night WrestleMania was?
Yeah, the man main evented, and Ronnie lost her mind.
Do we remember how fucking long that show was?
That was great. All the New York people got out and got stuck in the rain because the public transport had stopped. It was like 1:30 in the morning or something when it finished. Oh, man. Yeah, thumbs up. Raw after Mania. Definitely worth checking out this year.
Yeah, for sure.
I suppose we have touched on just about everything. We even touched on the New Japan stuff. So here's something, just sort of wrapping everything up here in a nice little bow, if you will. We mentioned that Jeff Cobb seems to be going possibly to WWE. They did do the interview of Bronson saying he likes to do the tsunami during the natural disasters induction video. These two together would be a fucking great tag team.
Holy shit. I've also seen a theory about they need a third Heyman guy, and that Bronson Reed or Jeff Cobb would be a great third.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
But also, like, I see it, Bron's already the muscle. They don't need more muscle. They need, like...
a fall guy?
They need the arrogant, cocky one. And I think...
Isn't that Seth?
Like, I've seen this compared to Evolution a lot, where, like, they've compared, like, Flair to Heyman, Triple H to Seth. Bron is, like, depending on how you look at it, I look at it as Bron is Batista. But I can see another world where you look at it as Bron is Randy. But if Bron's Batista, you need a Randy. And that's why I'm just saying, I might be a little biased, but you break up A-Town Down Under and you chuck Grayson Waller in there with them. And you have that guy in the background that just doesn't shut his fucking mouth. That just keeps talking shit.
That would be Randy.
And, like, Grayson would be fantastic in that role. But I've also seen people say that, like, it'd be perfect for Ethan Page.
Well, did you see today's NXT? I'm guessing not with everything that happened.
No. What's going on? What's Ethan Page up to?
Ethan Page seems to be tied up with Lexis King for the meantime.
Oh, dear.
Oh, well. I think that just about does it. I will be back sometime in the next week or two. I do have penciled in a tentative review of Effie's Big Gay Brunch with a very special guest, Ashley, who is a member of the LGBT community. So we'll be recording that, I think, Sunday, hopefully.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I reached out to a few people, seeing if anyone wanted to come on and give their thoughts, being that's sort of the Wrestling Pride show, and give their thoughts from a member of that community this year, rather than just me list off everything in the collective like I have past years. You'll probably be on break for a little bit, but I'll probably get you back, I don't know, maybe start of the Super Juniors.
Yeah, like, I'm hoping to be back a bit more regularly soon.
Yeah. Life does happen.
Life does happen. It makes it tough when you've got a kid that's just popping these teeth out of his gums, and it's the worst pain in the world for him. So
Yeah, and luckily he didn't have to go one whole match with Charlotte Flair to lose a tooth.
no.
Where can the good humans find you, my friend?
Find me on social media at Fruity's Alex. You can find us at Wrestle Oz Style with an AUS. Search us up on Facebook, Wrestling Oz Style. And you can find Chris at
I'm Chris Funder. Come tell me why my wrestling opinions suck, because more people need to. You can join the Wrestling Oz Style Discord. Links are in the description. You can go back and listen to the Wrestling Oz Style archive for free on SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, Apple, and YouTube. Nothing left to say but good day, and we'll speak to you next time. So, when's this Survivor Series coming out?
Oh, man.
No, we're not talking Survivor All-Stars yet?
Oh, fuck, man. It's going to be nuts, right? It's like big names from America or whatever, but they're pretty well past their prime. And we have got some fucking monsters at Survivor on the Aussie side of things. They're going to eat them up. It's going to be insane.
It's so funny. They're like, nah, we don't need Matty Wahlberg back for All-Star season of Australian Survivor. He'll never do anything. How wrong they were.
Oh, that was, outrageous. So David, who won Australian Survivor All-Stars, has just won this show in America called Deal or No Deal Island, where he won like 10.8 mil.
Wait, what?
Yes. There's a thing called Deal or No Deal Island where it's just Survivor, but if you last long enough, you get to play Deal or No Deal.
Okay,
Yeah, it's fucking outrageous. But he was on that show with Parvati.
Oh, everyone loves Parvati.
And Parvati is on this Australian Survivor versus the World season. And this was filmed after the Deal or No Deal Island, so probably going to be a big alliance if they do a tribe swap at any point. David's got Luke, who he had a big alliance with on the first on his first season. He's got people that he had big alliances with on the All-Stars season. I think there's a good chance he wins his second season of Survivor if they don't just immediately vote him out.
Last thing here, who wins the Wazzie's best dress this year? Hiromu Takahashi at Wrestle Kingdom 19 or Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 41? Hiromu in his Mr. Blobby weird tie-dye rainbow-inspired looking thing, or Seth in his bin liner?
I will say it was one of Seth Rollins' least offensive outfits, but Hiromu destroys Seth Rollins in this.
Very true.
It's Seth was a lot better than Finn Balor's yellow plastic bag over his head, though.
Look, the guy went shopping and clearly he just finished shopping and he's like, oh, I've got to make my entrance.
Yeah, he went shopping at JB Hi-Fi and put the bag over his head. Fucking JB Hi-Fi yellow and black bag.
Thank you so much, man.
Cheers, dude. A pleasure as always. I should be okay to record next week, but
Ketis, oh, sorry. My dog has just found a bone and brought it inside the house. Naughty. Okay, I got it off him.